Is there any popular music today that you think is just great, that you think will stand the test of time, whatever that means?
Well, I can't say that I've been swept away by anything. I mean, I also didn't listen to a lot of music in the 80s because I was deeply involved in other kind of studies. So I'm still catching up on the 80s, but because I really discovered My Bloody Valentine. Really loved that group. I really like Nirvana. I really like REM. I really like, Michael Stipe is a good friend of mine, but independent of our friendship, I love his lyrics. I think he's actually a great lyricist and a really good writer. And so I like REM. But, I'm not going to put down music that people are doing now because that's not right. It's not my place.
Yeah.
I like, soul, rock and roll. When I was 5 or 6, Little Richard was out. He was just there. I pretty much saw the birth and the evolution of rock and roll in my lifetime. And the period that I most loved is still the period I most love. And, in that way, it's like my mom, when I was a kid, she couldn't get over Artie Shaw and Benny Goodman. She stopped moving, and perhaps I'm guilty of the same thing, but I've sort of still love the people that I love, and I like to listen to people I like to listen to Robert Johnson. I really love Charlie Patton. I'll sit and listen to Charlie Patton for hours, and I listen to a lot of John Coltrane and a lot of opera, so I'm pretty happy with the music I listen to, and I'm not the experimental type. I'm not the kind of person, I never was, that will go and, when I was younger, I never had the money, I didn't have the money to go and buy 6 or 7 records and see what I liked. You had to save up, when I was a teenager in my early 20s, you saved up your money to go buy Blonde on Blonde, or you saved up your money to buy a record. You didn't go and buy 10 CDs, you bought a record. So, and
you certainly didn't download anything.
No.
How has that affected you at all? Do you have a lot of musicians have strong opinions about this? Do you have a feeling one way or the other?
Well, I don't even have a computer, I have mixed feelings about, the internet, because there's so much crime and misuse of it, but I don't know, it doesn't really bother me. I mean, I don't sell enough records, really. For me, if I sold as much records as the people that complain about it, I'd never complain.
Yeah.
And I don't sell enough records anyway, but I still wouldn't complain. I mean, if people can't afford to buy my records or they can't find them, it doesn't bother me. I figure for my records, I work really hard on the packaging. I really labor over every aspect, even the typeface, everything. This last package, Land, I spent a year working on it. And so people have something special because I'm well aware that people can put together their own records. Right. So I try to give them something special. So for those people that want to buy it, that's really great. And for people that download stuff, well, that's okay. I don't. It's the times we're living in. I would rather them sitting around downloading my records than downloading child pornography or something.
Sure.
So,
sure.
I don't have a complaint with it.
Yeah. And just for the record, Land is a beautiful package. It's a
Thanks.
very pleasing package, and I really mean that. What? And this is a big question. It's a big, pretentious question, but I'm really curious. What are you most proud of from your career?
In the work I do within.
Period. Just when you look back, what's the thing you want to be remembered for? What are you the most proud of?
Well, I guess I'm just, I'm proud to have a body of work that, that represents really the best that I knew how to do. I never did anything ever in my life, to make money, or I never made a decision to change something, to placate somebody, or to keep myself out of trouble. I'm just, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. because at first when you ask what am I proud of, I've really 2 great kids.
Well,
I'm really proud of
the
them.
answer right there, isn't
and
it?
I guess really when it comes down to it, I'm pretty lucky. I've everything at this time of my life, and I look at the leaves of my life, which I've experienced a lot of tough times and personal tragedy. But when I look at everything and I look at the work and I've had a really great life, and I'm still having a great life, and I have 2 really great kids who represent their late father beautifully, and I'm happy with my work, and I'm really happy with my my mind, that my mind is clear. I've taken good care of myself. I never abused myself with substances so that I'm fragmented. I have a real clear mind, and there's so much to learn, so many great books and music and nature, and we have a lot to live for, and especially now more than ever when there's so much strife in the world and people seem so dissatisfied and are so economic and power driven. More than ever, it's a time to stand back and look at the simple, beautiful things that we've been given.